Hello folks, today we've got a Thunderpole T800 and I'm assuming this is going to be the early version because the late version has no adjustments. So, let's have a look. I'll just put that base station away, which was an absolute corker in time. So he says this had no power lead. The customer's put a power lead on it, and I understand it powers up in a funny way. So, not sure what. I'm going to open it up first, I think. No, we won't. We'll power it up first because that can be amusing. That's the power lead, which is the factory one for that T8000 base. I must put that in the remains of that box. That's the mic for it. We've got a DNT in this batch, so they were unreliable 40 odd years ago. So these have a 6-pin mic. Right, let's put the power on. What seems normal enough. From what he was saying, it was like a funny way of powering up. I do prefer LEDs and LCD displays. Well, we'll go through it. 3.1 watt. He's going to want this 80 channel, so we'll do our usual. Channel 1 CPT, channel 40 UK. We'll change that to channel 1 UK. Let's go to channel 40. Channel 40 is 3.1 watt. I've switched it off instead of changing channel. Channel 1, 3.15 watt CPT. Channel 1, 3.2 watt. Let's go back to UK. I'll do this on channel 20, and that's the current consumption, simply because we always do it on channel 20, along with the deviation. It's 1.04 amps. These don't have low power because they're a current model CE approved MultiNorm. Deviation, for what it's worth on this test set, wallow, 2.4. Frequencies, test set's been on more than an hour. Nobody's put the cameras back in the right position. 2779090. Probably not adjustable. Receive. So we've got full scale deflection on there. Doesn't have one of those. Doesn't have that. That's working. That's working. That's working. Let's put the signal generator on. 2779. I'll have it there because it's slightly low and it's a better test then. So 100 microvolts. It's got an RF gain. Oh, if I'm not mistaken, RF gain only works on AM on this version. So what we'd have to do is to select that. This is, I'm going and beating about the bush here. We've only got 2 out of 4 so it's a bit lazy. I don't think it's adjustable, but it might be because the receiver's out. RF gain on this version, I seem to think only works on AM. Right. Let's see what our cyanide figures are. Very good's the answer. Um, 0.33. I'm on channel 20, but I don't think there's any adjustment on the receiver. But if there is, we'll redo this. 0.27. 0.58. Put the squelch to full. Opens at 3 millivolts on full. Let's turn it to minimum. I'd like to think that I didn't do very well in setting. Let's try again, otherwise the detector's out. I've really worked hard there to get the threshold. 3.2 is not a good squelch. Right, the mic's working, the speaker's working. Okay, so we've gone through that. Let's open it up. Perhaps all will be revealed as to what he's talking about, the way it's powering up. You got extra screws on these. The current non-adjustable version comes out pretty well, as it should do. They sent me a sample to see what I thought about their non-adjustable version, and to be honest, there wasn't much. There wouldn't have been much room for twiddle, but the current version is non-adjustable, and that's kind of a good thing in a way. It's not like people go inside the cellular phones and adjust them. So, you know, they're capable. The factories are capable. Yes, it's the earlier version. This, so that's fair enough. It's got a tunable receiver, so we will be doing it on channel 1. So I'm looking for dodgy components. Modulation transformer for AM. You'll see he's put a link in at the back. Anyway, it turns on and off, and it's there you go. I'm not going to go further into why that is. Got a read relay here. So they've departed from a traditional relay to a read relay. So that's potentially more reliable. But you know what? We've got sets that are 40 years old with relays in them, and the relays aren't playing up. So there you go. So I'm going to have to look at my notes for this. It is frequency adjustable. It is. So you know what? Before I go and look at my notes, let's do that. So on the frequency counter, we're getting feedback simply because I'm on extension speaker. Good, so we've set it slightly higher at 79127 because they drop with age. So that's a good start. So I'm looking that this is going to be FM detector. And this is going to be all receive. I'll just see if I've got any notes on this chassis. Right, we've got the notes. So we'll start on transmit, and we'll put the other glasses on. That looks to have had some rework just there. Why would that be? It actually has a resistor missing than that shown in the layout. Anyway, it works, doesn't it? So yeah, it's 3.5. You know what? Because we're doing what am I doing? What we need to do, we need to switch this to be on CPT. I'm going to, instead of doing it on channel 1 UK, we do it on channel 40 CPT because I need access to AM. So we're going to have to reprogram it. How's that done? Do we press some buttons? No idea. Do we press something like that? Yeah, looks like we do. No. We press two together. No. I have to get the instructions, aren't I? Apart from sending it to the wrong printer that costs more. We want to guess this in a month of Sundays. Right, so switch it on whilst pressing the up and the PTT on the mic. So if you haven't got the right mic, you are knackered. Well, that didn't do anything, did it? Oh, we're on 9, that's why. Let's put that to normal. No, that didn't work. Why did that not work? Well, turn off the radio while pressing the PTT and... oh, it's the down button. No wonder I'm not getting anywhere. PTT and down, switch on. And then... yes. I think it's EU we want. What do we do to lock it in? Turn the radio off and back on again. Let's see whether that's done it. So we're on transmit. Is it AM? I want channel 40 as well. Wallow, wallow, wallow. 1212, that's FM. So, is that AM? Wallow. Wallow, it is. Wow, that's got it. Right, that's that's where we were trying to get. Yeah, you couldn't guess that. I couldn't anyway. So I wanted it in AM mode so I can do the power. So let's go to the main meter. So we've got 3.5 watts and AM power is our preset here. And that's done absolutely nothing. Let's go to FM. We already know that is FM power. I can't see what this is doing. I wonder, does it mean... oh, I bet it means modulation. That's what it means. One two one two two one 1212 wallow. So we want that to be about 95%. That's what it is. Wallow, 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 wallow. Let's go back to that. That's where we want to be. Wallow. So we'll add, as we do, AM mod 90+%. So we'll now do FM deviation on the test set behind me. While we're doing all this, we may as well get on with it. It looked like it was about 2.4, which is where it wants to be on the other test set, on the Marconi test set. We'll just have a look on here. Let's get that set. hello. That's where we are. So back to this test set. Let's see what it says. It is on here. Wow, it says it's 2. Well, it's not. It's lying today, isn't it? So it was 4 kilohertz. It's now 2.2, 2.5. Right. So that was the fact. It says AMTX power quite clearly on here. It isn't. It's AM mod. Right, let's go over to receive. So do it on channel 40 on CPT. So we want 27405. This is why you need more than 5 digits, folk. I've had this discussion many a time. You know, you need to know at least 1 digit more. So 405, 27405. Right. We'll plug our test gear back in. And we want to be on FM. Which we are. So put the oscilloscope on. And I'm hoping the detector's out, because it certainly exhibits a poor squelch synonymous with having the detector not being right. That feels scarily tight. If I break that, this set is a write-off. Let's do the others. Go to Synad meter instead. So that was absolutely spot on. I was slightly out, so we'll drop the signal. Slightly out. Spot on. Back to a big signal, 100 microvolts. Back to the oscilloscope. That's not the detector. I wonder if it's AM detector. I'm going to switch to AM. it is. It's AM detector. And that's the spot on position. Got fireworks going off outside, even though we're half a mile from anywhere. It's November the 5th, bonfire night. So, AM detector. So the FM circuit's somewhere around here, but it doesn't look like it has a detector coil. So you must use a technique that doesn't need to do that. So the next thing it has, let's go back to FM. We need to just do the S meter. So I've got 100 microvolts on the signal, and it's only showing me 2 bars. I'd expect it to read 4, and there is an adjustment, and it says RX meter. I want it to just like that. Come on. It's quite a hysteresis on it. That'll do. Good. So let's now look at the sensitivity we've got. Here we go. So we've got this now, remember we've got this on CPT channel 40, so it's in the centre of the band. When I tested it before, we'd got it on channel 20 UK, but it should be the same. Let's have a look. 0.39. Well, that's very good. Oh, good grief! It's 0.2. And I can't even do 10 on that scale. It's still showing 0.2 because I'm between scales just there. So now, oh, we've got auto squelch as well. I didn't realise that. So I'll put that down as a separate thing. Let's turn the squelch to full. And there's no squelch adjustment. So it's oh, there is. It's here. Good. It's down here somewhere. There. So I want the radio to, let's put that on the attenuator, then you can see where I am. So I want the squelch to open with a 100 microvolt signal. So we're on exactly 100 microvolts. So we'll twiddle this till the squelch opens, which is there. Now I've got to make sure that I've not overshot it. No, that's exactly where we want it. And then I'm going to set auto squelch. You press something on the mic, I think, for auto squelch. Yeah, it's the centre button on the mic. Turn the squelch right down on the radio, then you'll hear auto squelch come in. And it lights up on the radio to say it's in ASQ. Now I want it to be 1.6 microvolts for auto squelch. Whether or not it's real auto, or whether or not it's preset, I'm not sure. but there's a lot of circuitry, so it could be a genuine auto. So, right, it's opened there, and it's closed there. It's exactly 1.6. It doesn't need any adjustment, it's perfect. But it would be there. So it was 1.6 and it still is 1.6, which is perfect. So let's have a look. We're now at 100 microvolts for tight squelch. Let's look where we are for sensitivity. Before it was a lousy 3.2. So we're going to go out of auto squelch. Radio's hissing. Put the signal generator to standby. It's parked at 0.3 of a microvolt. Put the manual squelch on. Set threshold carefully. Signal generator back on. It looks to be 1.1. It's 1.05. I'm not going to say 1 because it isn't. Good. So the only thing we've got to put the powers in, which are about 3.5 watts. I want to show you RF gain. So, as I said, as I remember, it only works on AM. So if I turn down, let's just put the cyanide meter on so you can actually see something happening. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't do anything on FM. So let's switch to AM. Well, that's a full. Switch to AM. Switch the signal generator to AM. And it now works. Probably demonstrate it even better if I put 100 microvolts on. Because we've now got all the fairy lights. We can turn that down. RF gain works. Switch it back to FM. Signal generator back to FM. It makes absolutely no difference. And so it's important to know that is normal. It isn't a fault. And the PNI version of this does the same. But there is a later version of this, and it does work on FM as well. So finally, what's the transmit power? Okay, I'll turn the volume down just so we don't annoy people who get annoyed by that. So we're on channel, I want this on, we're going to have to put this back to UK. So switch it off. PTT and down arrow, switch it on. Oh. Try not to press transmit because I'm in the extension speaker. Want U for UK, there we go. Switch it off, switch it back on again. So now we're in UK or EU, as it clearly says CE, UK, CE. So we're going to go for channel 1. Just turn the squelch to auto. Channel 1, UK. Let's look at this main meter. See what it's got to say for itself. So 4 watts is there. It came in at 3.1 and I think it's about 3.5, 3.6. So there's 4. It's actually bob on the 4. Now that's as a cooled down radio. When we were working on the transmitter, it soon dropped to 3.6 by the looks of what I saw. So that is 4 watts. On channel 1 UK, channel 40 UK. Let's have a look at that. There's our 4 watt point. 3.95. Now we'll go to CPT, channel 1, and let's hope it's not over the top and I've got to turn it down. It is 4. So there we go. Full 4 watts output, decent deviation, fantastic receive sensitivity. What more could you want? And they didn't intend that. This was made 2014, so it was before the UK was approved for using AM on CPT radios built after 2014, which are C approved. So this comes into the category that it's quite legal to do that. The latest version still is a faff to get into AM because it's not intended for people who need that backward compatibility with other countries. Where does this plug? Or do I need the other glasses? I need the other glasses. Hang on a minute, what's this? What's that preset there? It's not showing on my shown, but it's not got a label. I don't like to be curious with customer sets, but you know. Let's just go into transmit. Oh, here we go. It does look to be an automatic voltage regulator. We'll just set that. It's making a very slight difference to transmit power. Wallow. 1, 2, 1, 2. Right. Well, still not the wiser. Oh, I know what's happened. I've pulled it out of the pins, haven't I? Yeah, the actual sockets come out of the pins. Yeah, well, that's not supposed to happen. Right, well, let's put that back together. So, I mean, this is actually 10 years old now. That took more time than anticipated. So without that correct mic, you can't reset the country code. Right, we'll go off the test equipment and into the aerial, which, as I've said a million times before, is a Solarcon 99, like an Amtron 99, without the optional ground plane kit, mounted only just above gutter height of a single-storey building and broadside into a concrete roof, and I'm across from woods. So it works better in the Nottingham direction, which is why we test it in the opposite direction to that. We've got no power because I've switched the power supply to standby. So we're on UK, turn the squelch to manual. One niner Roger. Interesting, why does it come with ASQ when you've got transmit on? And on CPT-FM. "19 Roger." Back to UK. Squelch on manual. And there we go. Thunderpole T800 early version from 2014. Thanks for watching.